glad you could join us today. Let's meet the team. We have Chris Mutke, we have Jennifer Ruth, and we have myself, Tamara Wooten. And there are email addresses up there if you ever need to reach out or if you have questions after this presentation today, please reach out to us and we will be able to answer those for you and get back with you as soon as possible. Our objective today, STAAR is around the corner. I believe it's like 10 days right after spring break. So we're going to take a look at what reports we have in Edugence to help us guide through the reviews and the goal process for our students and our small groups. But before we start, I'm going to give a little bit of a brain break and let's listen to Gary Brooks for a second.
It is state assessment time. It's either on us, you're in the middle of it, or you're coming up to it. So I wanted to give you some suggestions on how to make your state assessment really important in the lives of every child. If they don't do well on state assessments, it's just going to not be very good. So I have, first of all, as you know, you have to read the directions word for word. So you're going to be reading a lot. You can't paraphrase on state assessment direction. Police will come barging in your room and drag you out of your room like you're on a United Airlines flight. So you're going to be important to keep your throat moisturized. I like to get some of these soothing drops while I'm reading. It also comes in spray form. I like this kind of soothing spray. I just spray it as I'm reading the directions, and then my throat stays moist. I think it's also a good idea to encourage kids, so have plenty of stickers on hand. I get this one out and say, "You're smart as a panda bear," and I give them a panda bear sticker, or I'll say, who's doing really good, and I give them an owl sticker. These are my favorites. These are ABC stickers, and I just take them and I put them right here on my forehead like this. And when I'm walking in the room and I see a kid struggling on a specific question, they don't know the answer, I can just say, "Oh, you're doing really good on that question right there." I can say, "Oh, that's a hard one, isn't it?" Get yourself some stickers. Good luck on your state testing.
Want to do the ABC stickers on our forehead, but I know all of us would like to every once in a while. Give them a little hint, but we can't do that. Gary Brooks always puts a nice little fun twist to things. We do have a new shortcut. If you would please bookmark it on your computer for our website, it would be staff.pisd.edu/ARPI. So make sure you bookmark that and you'll go to that. We have all of our resources there. We have our videos, our guides, any of your STAAR materials that you need. We have our A to Z index. We have MAP. We have Edugence guides, everything you need. Well, today I'm going to show you one thing that's called data analysis throughout the year. This guides all of our data analysis and timeframes and our guides. It's all in one document. On our website, when you open it up, you go to departments and you go to assessment, research, and program evaluation, you're going to see something that says data analysis throughout the year. And this is an old screenshot, but this goes to the same link. It's going to go to this link. This link is our data analysis throughout the year document. And as you can see, we have beginning of the year, mid first semester, middle of the year, mid second semester, and then end of year. These are the reports that you will look at those times of year. I like to call it hot and fresh data. This is when that time of year when you need to be looking at that specific data. We're not going to look at everything all at once. It'll be the one pieces that we know we might have added to. If you are an administrator, you will also see the pieces that are included in your CNA that you may need that data or that guide to help you get that data for that document. Always look the district assessments reports for teachers. That is on there for almost all year round because we do give those district assessments year round. That is for our grades 3 and up. So using that guide, you can look at some of these reports I'm going to show you today, and that will help with some of your guiding questions as well when you're having those conversations with your teachers. So going into Edugence, that's where we're going to live today. You'll see in the district assessments section, which is at the very top. As soon as you go into reports, you're going to see there's teacher reports, there's rosters, and there's item reports. We are going to go to some place in each of these sections. The first place we're going to go to is in teacher reports, and we're going to click on teacher dashboard. And here in the teacher dashboard, there will be a drop down, and you can choose whichever test that you want to look at. As soon as you pull up the test or the assessment that you want to look at and analyze, one favorite is error analysis that we like to look at. As you can see here, there is so much information. So across the top, you have your content SE or your TEKS. Those are listed, your answer choices, the reporting category, if it's listed in the key, the question number, and the type of question. So here we have a multiple choice, we have inline choice, multi-select, we have constructive response, all kinds of item choices within this one assessment. At the bottom, you can also see the time duration, so you can see how long each student took on this test. So sometimes that's a clue as well. If they did not do well, but you notice they only took about 3 minutes on the test, well, there's a red flag for you right there. Or if they took 45 minutes on a 10-question test and they're still struggling, that's also a way that you can use this time and look to see what issues or concerns we have. Everything in pink is where they got the item incorrect. So you can look at it across by each student, or you can look at it down by each item number. And you can see also at the top, we have the percent correct for each item number as well. Here you can also see the answer choices. So if you see students that have missed it and you see that they are missing it by the same answer choice, then maybe we need to go back and look at those misconceptions, or if there were distractors in those items as well. Another favorite that we like to look at is the item analysis. And here in the item analysis, you have a comparison from teacher data to campus data to district data. Everything that is highlighted in green is 80% or above on that item. Everything that is pink is going to be 65% or less on that item. Going from left to right, you can see we have a little symbol there. That little symbol is actually going to take you to that exact item on the test. If you click on it, the question's going to pop up for you. You will be able to see the question, the correct answer, and how the students answered all on that one screen. You have the item number beside it, the reporting category. You have the SE or the TEKS. Then you have the answer choice, the correct answer choice. And then you have teacher data in the yellow. In the teacher data, you can see it starts with the percent correct. And then you can see the percent that the students chose each of those answers. So again, if you have one question where you can see, oh, well, they pretty much chose these answer choices evenly, well, we need to go back and look at that item. Or maybe it was just a discussion that you have to have between two different answer choices. This is a good way to also look at your campus data. So that means if you are not departmentalized and maybe you are self-contained and you want to look how the rest of the grade level did, this would be your comparison here. And here you can also say, oh, wow, you guys rocked it out of the park with that one, but I need to know how you taught that because I need to go back and reteach that TEK or reteach that item. And so I'd like to have that discussion to see how you presented that information. You can also look to see how you compare to the district. Sometimes you have done so much better than the district, and that is awesome. But if you see that the district is performing the same as you or less than you, maybe that's another type of discussion that you have either with your team or with other teachers to see how we can either improve ourselves or we can talk amongst other teachers in the district to see how we can improve some strategies in our classroom. Another report is in the item reports. And in the item reports, we like going to the SE performance. And here you can look at campus level SE performance. You can also see it by teacher. It just depends on what you want to toggle with in the top right-hand corner. So when you open this one up and you go to the drop down, you're going to choose an assessment that you want to highlight. When you do, this report pops up. You can see the TEKS are listed there, the description of the TEKS. And then on the right-hand side, you can see, if you hover over it, you'll see which question and which test that TEK came from. So you can see how they are doing over time on that specific SE. So you can see here on this one, 4.2G, which is to relate decimals to fractions that name tenths and hundredths. You can see for the most part, this group of students is really getting it. But if I wanted to go back and look at 4.2A, interpret the value of each place value position as 10 times the position to the right and as 1/10 of the value of the place to its left, I see we're only sitting at 24%. So that may be something, if that is one of our HPKSs, then I want to go back and look and revisit that. Another way to look at it is teacher level. If you go into rosters, if you just remember that rosters is always going to have a list of students, because if you're looking at a roster, a class roster, you're always looking at students. This is how you know anytime you need specific your class student names, go to the rosters. But you can look at that SE performance as well, just in your class. This is a good way, especially if you are keeping track in those SE or those TEKS data trackers. This is a good way to be able to see how each student is doing with each one of those TEKS and item numbers. You can see at the top, all of the TEKS are listed. All you have to do is click on the one that you're looking for. And then on the bottom, it's going to show just that TEK, just those items that have been identified by that TEK. So you can see there's a percent correct, and then it says A1, A2, A3, A4. That's just the number of tests. If you hover over those titles, A1, A3, you're going to see which assessment that is. So you can also see here and track those students and see, okay, I think they're doing pretty good on this 4.2G, but there are some, like down there when the last one that's sitting at 33%, I know that for this particular student, they are still struggling with this concept. So therefore, I know that I can pull this one to a small group and maybe pull some of the others that are sitting in the same situation that are struggling with that particular TEK. There's another way to dig down even further into the student level. So we've looked at a broad view of classroom level, campus level, teacher level, student level by class. Now you can look at individual student levels of their SE performance. There's this little symbol, as you can see here in the center of the screen. This little symbol shows those students' district assessments data and their performance and all of their reading, math, and science all on one document for you. So if you click on that, and that's usually beside their name, it's on several different reports in Edugence, you can find it. But if you click on that symbol, you're going to come up with something like this. You're going to make sure that the year 2026 is chosen. Then you're going to choose district assessment in the top right-hand corner. And then you're going to choose what the subject is that they have taken that district assessment in. Is it reading? Is it math? Is it science? Once you do, you're going to see their district assessments performance details. And what this shows is now you have their SE averages across all of their assessments. So now it is averaged every SE that they have been tested. And you can see in green, if it is dark green, they got it. So at this point, I know I don't need to revisit those with them right now. Those aren't the ones that I really need to go to. They have that. Those in the dark red, they are still missing those. Where I would focus is those in the pink, because those in the pink, that means they are somewhat getting that concept, but a little bit more with them, and we can push them to the green. If you look to the bottom, it's going to outline each one of those tests that are averaged up at the top. You're going to see the TEKS, and again, you're going to see the question and their answer choice at the bottom. So you can see if they got it correct. If it's green, if it's red, they got it incorrect, but it'll also give you the correct answer beside it. So this is another way that you can look at just a student, especially when you're looking for small groups, maybe tutorials, if you're wanting to group them by TEKS, if you're pulling different classes together, this is a good way to look at that individual student performance. You can also print it. There's that PDF button under that writing option in the top right-hand corner. You can print this if you need to as well. So let's think about all these reports that we have in Edugence, and there are a ton more, but right now this is one way that we can look at putting those students in small groups or planning for tutorials. So let's think about these next steps. We need to look at those performance of the HPKSs, and we need to look at our low campus TEKS. So we can pull all of this together and start making those plans. Once we do, or we can look at and pull up our plans that we have now, what adjustments need to be made? If you see that your students are now being successful in something that you have already put them in groups in, maybe those groups need to be adjusted. What is the outcome we're looking for? Are we looking for 100% mastery, or are we looking for 80% mastery? Do any goals need to be adjusted in Edugence? As in your SSP goals, or some of your math goals, reading goals, any type of those goals, do those need to be adjusted? Because we have data in Edugence that shows their progress. You can easily progress monitor those TEKS just by looking at these reports as well. Now's the time that we can make those last minute quick adjustments right before STAAR. So I have another video to show you. A couple actually. Let's see if it'll start for me. Here we go.
312, 313, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I got 312 last time. Okay, I'll start over. 1, 2, 3. Stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. It's so warm in here though. I'm like, okay, whoopsie there. Wow, all right. Actively monitoring, let's go. What? Oh, that question is not gonna be right. You changed that answer. We did this one yesterday, and you did it. Way to go. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. What's this in the back here? What? You're done. Wow, no you're not. It's been 12 minutes. Wow, can't wait to see that score. Oh my gosh. Oh boy, this is like watching paint dry. Actually, I think that might be more exciting. Oh, you're bored. Yeah, I know. But you gotta focus and try your best, right? You got this. I don't know what you're talking about. This is the most exciting thing I've done in my life. If you do not know an answer on today's test, please do the best that you can, because I am a puppet and I have no voice or power in today's test. Somebody please save me from this testing island of hell. Just sit for a second on this wobble stool. All the kids rave about him. I don't know what's so great about him. Wait a second. This is kind of fun, actually. Whee! Oh, you know what? This might be good for some core exercises, huh? Summer is coming. 3, 4 F's of steel. What? I'm not doing anything. Yep. Oh, good God. This is awful. Whoop, even more awful. Is this what I look like today? Oh my. Oh, is that how bad my roots are? Jeez Louise. Well, Oh, focus, Jess. Near, far, wherever you are, I believe that the heart does go on. It's just that it's crazy to think that my whole success as a teacher depends on what these children do in the next hour. He did not read those 5 paragraphs that fast, and that is the wrong answer. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. Our whole system is flawed. It's not your fault. Okay. Moving on. Okay. Just get that blood flowing. 4 more hours. Ugh, that's a good stretch. That feels good. Oh, that hurts. Wowie. Haven't done that in a while, but I look like I know what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. And that makes lap 462. Get out of my way. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'll get you. I'll get you. Actively monitoring, not attacking a tree, Jess. Okay. I am so thirsty, but it's not a snack break. Well, I'll just hide and... Oh, it's so much better and refreshing.
Of course, we would not look at their test, but we've all counted the laps we've made around the room. We've all looked at ourselves in the mirror like, oh my gosh, is this really what I look like today? We've all kind of sat in chairs and just kind of walked around and just singing songs in your head, all of this as you're walking around and monitoring, just to make some light of what's coming up. We know that. We know you work hard, and we know you are really good at what you do. So we just wanted to give you a little bit of comic relief today. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and email those out to us again, or here for credit, if you watch this live today, you can go to this tiny URL, or you can go to this QR code. Please enter your information and we will make sure that you get credit for attending today. Again, here's our tiny URL and then the QR code. Make sure you just fill out them. It's mainly just your name and your email and your campus. That way we know that we can give you credit for attending today. Jennifer, if you will stop the recording, please. And I'm going to stop sharing.